back with Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 in the truck and SUV series. This will be episode number 8. Can you believe it? 8 episodes already. Isn't that nice? Today we're going to be doing the Jeep Wrangler. However, we are looking here in the junkyard for the remaining few vehicles that we still need to complete the series. I'm missing, I think, 3 or 4 of them. I need to find myself the Bullhorn Grand Mojave Standard Edition. Once again, the Jeep Willys Military, the Olsen Grand Club, and the Bolt Atlanta Trespasser. And yet, when I'm not looking for them, they always seem to be here. And I don't, I just do not understand where they are. They're like, no, we don't want them to be picked. We're hiding. I'm like, come to me. I want to build you. Huh. Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. Later date. They seem to be showing up here a lot more in the junkyard. Alright, let's keep on cruising on through. Nothing here. Nothing. Ooh, look at that, a hot rod. Hey, would y'all be interested in a hot rod series? If so, put it into the old comments there. Let me know if you'd be interested in doing a short mini series on some hot rods. Alright, well, there's nothing here, so we're going to head back to the shop, and I will see you all when we get there. And here's Mr. Flippy from the stream there, number 7. And I call it Mr. Flippy because if you saw the stream, when I told you I was going to beat this thing like a rented mule, well, did I ever. She landed up on her roof more than anything. That'll be coming out in a short video this week sometime. And also, too, FYI, I did put out another game, or another video earlier today called Ark Survival Ascended. You should check it out. It is the where I got abducted by aliens, and then I went and and we're probably heading back to GTA this week. So first things first, we're going to yank this motor out of here. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And I've already got the block and the crank together on the engine stand. And of course, they put me all the way back here. We're going to run our way up here. Let's remove the rear drive shaft. Let's slide the front drive shaft out. Good. Let's remove the transfer case 4x4. After we spray it, of course, can't forget the spray. And we're going to move the gearbox to the V6 Pentastar. There we go. And solid axle front and rear. Alright, yank this motor out of here. It doesn't need to be in there no more. Now we're going to yank out the rad. Run over here to the fuse box. I got relay B. The other 2 relay Bs. And we also got a medium fuse B. And we got 3 relay C's. 1, 2, 3. Let's move the fuse box. And this thing can go back up in the air now. Alright, now we're going to go put the motor in the storage. So there's the block right there. I kind of took the color that the Jeep is, and I kind of gave it a little bit of a twist. Okay, that's what I went and did. Now, we're not going to be keeping any of these... Oh, door. We're not going to be keeping any of these parts. We will be dumping them off. I have a different set of wheels and tires for this, which I think is going to look amazing. Good. Now we're going to put this over here. Now we're going to move the solid rear drive axle. After we spray it, of course, can't forget those bolts. Move the backing plate. Good. Alright, now we're going to move the rear knuckle housing C, the U-bolt 1, U-bolt 2. Now we're going to remove the bigger bushing. Good, good, good. And now we're going to remove the spring plate, or the solid axle control arm, I believe it is. The shock, the spring cap, or no, that would be the rear shock absorber cap. Now we just removed the spring. Now the spring cap is this one. I don't understand the logic, but okay. And the bigger bushing. Take out the shock. Good. Let's remove the rear tire. Gonna probably have a spray. Now they rode this thing hard, and it's probably put away wet like usual. All right, how many miles does this thing have on it? It's only got 67,000 miles. Now keep that in mind when you're looking at this. Like, she looks pretty wretched for only 67,000 miles. But that's okay, because when we are done with it, it's going to look brand spanking new. But first, we got to spray all these bolts. You know, we gotta get the U-bolts, and we gotta get the spring plates off. You know, because they're a little bit stuck on. You know, they probably left this thing in a mud pit, or they buried it in a mud pit, one of the two. Swing around. Let's get this caliper cylinder out of the way. We don't want it here no more. Nope, 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 nope. Get the brake pad. Good. The rotor. The solid drive axle. Hey, did not spray that one. Remove the backing plate. Rear knuckle housing C. The coil spring differential. Now we're going to work our way up here to the front. Good. Let's get this front tire off here. Got to spray that lug nut. Can't forget that now. There we go. We're going to get the caliper off. There we go. And now we're going to take off the rotor. This front drive axle G, the backing plate. Now to get these off, that's a little trick you got to do. Those of y'all that don't know, you're simply going, why won't this thing come off? I'll show you. There's a little plate back here you got to take off first. Sometimes the bolts are stuck, sometimes they're not. But that plate just, you know, magically disappears. Now you can take this off. Good. Let's take the coil spring assembly off. Good. Let's take off this U-bolt. After we spray it, of course, you know, can't forget the spray. That's the key. That's the key ingredient here. Good. Now we're going to get the bigger bushing out of the way. Good. Now let's take this plate out of here. We don't need it here anymore. It's just in the way. You know what I mean? Now we're going to slide on over here to the passenger side. Let's get this big front wheel off. We got 3 stuck lug nuts. Good. There we go. Alright, now we're going to do the caliper next. Gotta spray the bolt, of course. Now we're going to take out the pad, the rotor, solid drive axle G, or front drive axle G, I should say. Take out the backing plate. And remember, first before you take this off, you got to take off the outer tie rod. And then there's a plate back here that you got to take off. One more, and we should be good. Perfect. Take out the inner tie rod. The steering rack can just get out of the way. Take off the front steering knuckle E, I believe it is. Now we're going to take off the front shock after we spray the bolt. Good. Now we're going to take off the U-bolt. And here's the last U-bolt. Good. Take off the spring plate. Good. Now we're going to get the bigger bushing out of the way. It just doesn't need to be there anymore. The solid drive arm there thing. Perfect. And now we are bare minus the body panels, which we are going to remove right now. Let's drop this back down. Good. Let's take out all these windows. They don't need to be in there no more. Let's take off the rear hatch. Our tailgate. Rear window. Let's take a look around, make sure there's nothing else here. No, looks pretty good to me. Good, good, good. we're going to run over here, grab our handy dandy little welder, and we're going to put this back. We don't need it at the moment. Oops. Please tell me I didn't put nothing. Oh no, that's right. We already put the motor away. Scared me there for a minute. $900. Let's see what this beauty looks like. It looks alright. It looks okay. Alright, I'm going to put this back. I'm going to take this, and we're going to remove the interior out of it first, before we go anywhere. Alright, we've got that done. Now we're going to move this over to the test path to get the body panels put on it. Now before we do that, we're going to clear our inventory. Boom, just like so. Perfect. Now let's put on our new stuff. All brand spanking new. Good, good, good. I've already done a test paint job on the original hood that came on it. I pulled that off and I fixed her up and I went and sprayed it. And I have to say, it's very similar to this color, but it's a little bit different. I went and gave it the AJ twist, we'll say. Alright, I'm going to put the headlights in, the windshield, the other headlight, good, the front bumper, and now we're also going to put the license plate on. Perfect. And I believe now it should be not complete. What are we missing? And the rear bumper. I knew we were missing something, I just didn't know what it was. There we go. We got that already. We ain't got to worry about that. Now we should be sitting at 100. Perfect. Now we're going to take this. We're going to move this over to the paint shop. That's right. Now we're in the paint shop. Actually, it's kind of nifty right there, eh? The colors almost match. Alright, now we're going to come in here to the paint booth. We're going to prime her up. We're going to hit it with 2 coats of primer and 3 coats of paint. And hopefully we cure that dang bumpy crap that ends up on here. Alright, we sprayed her twice. Now we're going to hit it with the actual color. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I think it is. Now, do we have any... Oh, we do have... Oh, look at that. Kind of digging this one. Yeah. Kind of digging that one. Alright, now we're going to do it again. Unfortunately, we got to do this every single time that we go and respray it. Oh, we don't want that. Alright, I think we should be good with 2 for now. Alright, we're going to leave this here. And we're going to go build ourselves a motor for it. So I will see you at the engine shop. Start the engine building station area. And we are working on a V6 Pentastar for that Jeep. Look at that. Isn't that a nice color oil filter? That looks snazzy. Looks fancy. Now we're going to put on the alternator. Good, good. Now we're going to put in the piston rings. Give a little extra oomph to it. And now we're going to put on the other ones. You know, it's not going to take as long to build this motor, I don't think, because I took my time to build it up. Or, like, not build it, but go through all the parts list and such of everything that we should need to build this thing. Now, I do have to say, the exhaust manifolds on this thing are really, really goofy looking. I mean, they really are. I've seen some weird things in my time, but man, that one takes the cake. Good. Now we got last rod cap. Now the oil pan, which is V6B. Look at that. Isn't that snazzy? I think that color looks really, really good together. I think it does, man. I think it does. I'll put on timing chain C. Alright, now we're going to flip this bad boy over. Sorry for the eardrums. Click back on it. Good, good, good. We're going to put the cylinder head B on, which I have a feeling A is probably going to have to go on first, but you never know. Alright, now it's almost designed like a Hemi with the spark plug deep inside the head here. I'm going to put one on there. And we got 2 camshafts and 6 caps for this side. Camshaft 1. Camshaft 2. Now look at this exhaust manifold. Isn't that funny looking? I think it is. Alright, now we're going to put the camshaft caps on. Wish I could have painted them, but you know, it is what it is. I think they're only the BMWs you can paint. I think. That's all I believe I've been able to actually paint, has been the BMW ones. It's kind of weird if you ask me, but whatever. It is what it is. Tomato, tomato, right? Yeah, as I always say. Alright, put the fuel filter on. Now we're going to put the cam gear V6B on. A lot of V6B parts on this motor. Yeah, I figured we had to put cylinder head A on. Isn't that nice? It's nice color combination. The flat black or satin black with the purple. Woo, looking pretty snazzy. Alright, now we're going to put the Z spark plugs in. I just wish we could have painted the intake though. But, it is what it is. Alright, got all 6 spark plugs in. Now we're going to finish off the last 6 camshaft caps for the V6 Pentastar. Good, good, good. Alright, 2 more after this one. And then we can probably put the, well, then we got to put the cam gears on. And then once the cam gears are on, then put timing chain A, and then timing chain B. And then, yeah. Alright. Now we're going to do this. Aha, timing chain A, let me see, B. You figured they would have put timing chain A on first, but we're going to put the timing shoe on. Keep tension on the chain so it doesn't slip around and get sloppy. Nobody likes a sloppy chain. We're going to put the other timing chain shoe on. Good. Now we put the timing cover on. Look at that. Kind of hiding all that darkness. Perfect. And I was even able to paint the coils for it, which is kind of neat. It's kind of nice actually. Gives breaks up the color a little bit on the top side. You know what I mean? All right, I'll put the lower intake in, and that's what I mean. You know, it's all dark up here. It's all dark, man. All right, put the upper intake on. Now we're going to put the fuel rail in, V6B of course. Like I was saying, there's a lot of V6B parts on this motor. Good. Now we're going to put the engine head cover B on, along with the coils, specifically for this motor. They're Pentastar coils. There we go. Now we're going to put an idler A pulley on. Good. The water pump. Alright, now we're going to slide on down. We put the crankshaft pulley V8 on. We got 2 more idler A's. Glad I bought a few. Now we put the belt on, and there should be a belt tensioner, I believe. Good. Alright. Are we basically done with this motor now? Nope, we gotta put the back stuff on. The flywheel. Hey, it finally sits in there properly. The clutch plate and the pressure plate. And now the release bearing. And now I believe we are done with this motor. Perfect. now it is time to go bring the Jeep back, which is way over yonder. After 1,700 layers of BS to get here. Yeah, it may have worked out. It's looking pretty smooth, smooth. Alright, now we're going to bring this back to car lift A. I'm going to go get all of our tools ready. Slide this over. Don't need it yet, but when the time comes, it's better be prepared and unprepared, you know, like I have been in the past numerous times. I even tried to color match all the pieces and components to go with it. So, surprisingly enough, there's no relay A's in this. It's weird. It really is weird. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Got another relay B right here. We got some medium fuses. We got A, B, B, A, B, and then a C. See what we're doing here? Put the lid on. Good. I'm going to put the ECU type A in. Got to bump it up the best we can. Master cylinder or brake circle, whatever you want to call it. Put on the ABS pump. Now the module. 6 little tiny bolts hold that in place. Alright, now we're going to work our around. This is coolant reservoir C. Good. Air box, just a regular one. I'm going to put the custom performance air filter in. Put the lid on it. And now we got 4 clip A's. That's what we shall be putting on. Ooh, that black really does look good on here. I didn't know if it was going to turn out or not. It did. It really did. Good. Just like that. Now we're going to put in the radiator. Now the single fan. Now we're going to slide our way around over here to this side of the Jeep. Now we're going to put on the windshield washer reservoir, the power steering reservoir, and we're going to wait until after we get the motor and we're going to put the brake on. Or the battery in. Brake on. Yeah, brake on, man, brake on. But before we go any further, let's bring this over. And I'm just dying to see what it looks like with tinted windows. I really am. Alright. Do the windshield. Do the windshield. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Alright, just give me a moment here. I gotta tell the young one there it's bedtime. Just give me a second. I'll be right with you. Alrighty. Let's put this Jeep up in the air. And the joys of this is we can put everything in underneath of it first before we go ahead and drop the motor in. Alright, now we're going to put the differential in. Now we're going to put the solid axle control arms in. I went a little bit different with this one. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, you know what I mean? Want to make it just a little bit different. Wait till you see the shocks. Boom, look at that. I think that looks good. Alright, now we're going to put the spring on. Good. The rear shock absorber cap. Good. Let's put in the rear muffler. The rear exhaust pipe. And now we're going to put in the rear knuckle housing C. Close enough. Now we're going to put in the backing plate or wheel hub 3. Solid drive axle. Put on the rotor. I decided to spoil this thing a little bit. Don't know why. It seems every time I put those ones on, the thing doesn't perform all that well. Alright, y'all ready for this big wheel? Alright. Yeah, they're all the same. Let's take a look back. Yeah. That's actually Jeep Grand Cherokee wheel. Try to keep it all Jeep as possible. Run over here to this side. Let's put the rear shock on. Shock on, man, shock on. Good. Now we're going to put on the rear spring and the rear shock absorber cup. Good. Alright, now we're going to put the solid drive axle on. Or solid axle control arm, sorry, my bad. Put on the bigger bushing. And this thing only takes 4 bushings. It's impressive. Must have good articulation. Alright, now the U-bolt. Now the other U-bolt. Good. Now we're going to put on the rear axle knuckle housing C. Hey, I got it right that time. Hey, what do you know? I did read. That's a scary concept. Solid drive axle. The rotor. The brake pad. The red Brembo caliper. Good. Now the wheel. Good, good, good. Awesome. Now we're going to slide up here to the front. I think that looks very, very good. Now we're going to put in the solid differential up here up front. But first we're going to put the steering rack on. Good. Now we're going to put on the inner tie rod on this side. The solid axle control arm for this side. The plate for the bottom. ZU bolts. We got 2 of them for this side, 2 of them for the other side. Good, good, good. And then we still got coilovers up front here. There we go. Beautiful. I think this thing looks amazing. I don't know about y'all, but man, looks good to me. I'm going to put on the catalytic converter. Good. I'm going to put on parts we don't have. And I bought these. I know I did. But anywho, there. Am I missing something here, or am I missing something here? Oh, front steering knuckle H. Oh. That would make total sense why that happened. Now, did we remember to buy the ring for the rear? Oh, we got them. That's good. Now we're going to put on the outer tie rod. Good. The backing plate, wheel hub 3, same as the rear. Now the front takes something special. The front drive axle G. But you don't bolt it in, you just set it in. I guess it's the caliper that holds it in place. Would be my guess. Alright, now we're going to put in the caliper. Good. Now the front wheel. Now I don't know if these ones are going to fit. They fit in the rear, so they should fit in the front. Might not be good for steering or nothing, but you know. Yeah, they kind of do fit. You know, at least these ones stick out a little bit more. I wish we were able to put a lift kit on this to make it look so much better. Alright, now we're going to put on the solid axle control arm. The spring plate. And now we're going to put on the U-bolt. We're going to put on the other U-bolt. And give me a second here, folks. Alright, we are back. We're going to put in the bigger bushing right here. Good. I'm going to put in the front steering knuckle H. Now we're going to put in the plate behind it. I think there's 6 bolts that hold that in. I'm going to put in the coil over. Good. Now we're going to put in the inner tie rod, the outer tie rod, the backing plate, front drive axle G, the rotor, the brake pad, and now we're going to put in the caliper, 2 bolts, and now the wheel. 5 bolts, hold it on. Good. Now I think this thing's pretty much complete minus the drive line, which I guess in a way, would be kind of important. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just saying. Alright, now we're going to grab this big beautiful motor off of here. Run this back over. Use the engine crane, put this in. Good, everything's there. Beautiful, nothing ran away on me. Alright, now we're going to fill this up first. Hold on a second here. We're going to move this. Yeah, we're going to move that out of the way. I mean, we probably could have seen, but it would have been a little bit more, where's the level? You know what I mean? So, it's all good. There we go. Got that all filled. Now we're going to put in that windshield washer reservoir. Good, just like so. Now that this is in, I guess we can put the battery. Nah, better put the starter in first. Then we put the battery in. Alright, now we're going to fill this up. And then once we're done with all this stuff, and we finish with the drive line and the exhaust, we're going to go put this on the dyno. I think this thing looks pretty damn amazing, if I do say so myself. Probably one of my nicer, cleaner builds, to be honest. Alright, now we're going to find the oil fill. Oh, what is up with this? Alright, we are going to be making a mess of this. We got a little oil pan, so it shouldn't take much to start filling it up. Oh, there we go. Clean that up. Don't want to get all over a nice beautiful paint job. Alright, I'm going to put the last little ingredient in of coolant, which we're going to go just above the center line because, you know, got to fill the system. Perfect. Alright, we got oil, the blue juice, power steering fluid, brake fluid, and coolant. Beautiful. But we're forgetting. I said we're going to wait until the starter gets put in. Thankfully, it's only got a little short hood, so I can put this up here and no fear of it hitting the rear. Alright, now we're going to jump up here, sort of. Let's put the gearbox in. Alright, now we're going to put the transfer case 4x4 on. Now we're going to put the drive shaft in. Good. Now we're going to put in the front drive shaft D, the Y pipe, and now the battery. I have Google Magic Fingers. And now we minus the... Ah, yes. I see you. I see you, man. I ain't forgetting you this time, man. Alright. Now we should be at 100. Yes, we are. Okay. Now, we're going to bring this over to the alignment shop, which is, you know, somewhere right about here. And then before we go to the alignment shop, we're going to put our interior in. Now, I'm not entirely sure if the front seats are going to fit. I chose them out of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, which they should fit, but you never know. I'm going to put in a Jeep steering wheel, you know. Alright, now before we go any further, I look a little close to the center on this one, but that one looks fine over there, so maybe it's just a e-brake handle. I don't know. Let's try this out. Oh, she sounds mean. 6-speed, manual, nice. Manual shift 4x4, beautiful. It's 81 degrees outside right now, according to the dash. Alright, I'm going to slide this one over, then slide the rear left, the right rear, and the right front. Perfect. Alright, now we're going to do the headlights. We're going to slide it down just a little bit. And then slide it to the left for the left one. Good. We're going to slide this one down here. We're going to slide it to the right for the right. Actually, no, we need to slide to the left. Good. I gotta admit, man, that looks pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. I really think it does. Alright, now we're going to move this over to the dyno. And we're going to adjust this just a little bit. I'm not sure I want to mess with this. I'm going to leave that alone. Last time I did that, I screwed everything up on me. So, alright, let's see. Where's our lucky number 7.5? Oh, there we go. Okay. Could this be it? I think it is. There we go. We're up 16%. Beautiful. Alright. So the factory horsepower numbers for this car is 285 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 272 pound-feet of torque at 4,900 RPM. I wonder what we've increased it to. Let's check and see, shall we? Oh, way off the chart. Alright, so the new numbers now are 528 horsepower at 6,100 RPM, which is an increase of 244 horsepower, 86%. And the torque numbers are 484 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 RPM, which is an increase of 213 pound-feet, or 79%. Our drag rating is now a C at 282. Huh. It's interesting, isn't it? I wonder how well this thing's going to do on the drag strip when we take it. I'm not sure I even want to change it and put slicks on it. Might actually have a chance to win with this thing. But alrighty, I think we're basically done with this now. Would be my guess. Alright, let's go check it out in the sun. And the nice beautiful Arizona weather. Alright, that's looking pretty snazzy, I might have to say. Perfect. Alright everybody, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Everybody hit that like button. It'd be greatly appreciated, helps the channel grow. And we will see y'all on the next episode. Bye everyone.